meet you.
Hi, I'm all right. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Okay, so we're going to use this time as effectively as we can.
Right, sure.
I don't want to sound aggressive, but that's why I sent the email saying, we'll just be moving because I only have 1 hour. Unless, of course, you have some time this afternoon, you can come back if we don't, you can finish up things because I have cancellation. Have a seat.
All right, sure. All right.
So we're at a point where you've left and said, hey, listen, I need to do this now, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to my notes here and read them to you, and then you can tell me.
Well, I mean, I think I totally understand. Like, basically, I wanted to kind of, get to like, exactly what the next steps have to be.
So let's see. Potential came in with questions regarding the lawsuit. He lost as a result of pursuing the Edmonton Police Service. Some individuals for an assault charge. He'd been fighting for this for 5 years, trying to get justice. But lost the case, and the court even awarded costs in the amount of approximately $80,000 to all the defendants. I suggested he consider filing a bankruptcy to protect his $40,000 equity in his home, as one of the defendants in the case is registered a writ against the condo, and then maybe write a book about his 5 years' experience regarding the justice system. And I told my brother about this, who owns this firm. He goes, "What a great thing to tell people regarding the justice system, police service once he's discharged to obtain closure." We had a lot to talk about, and I tried to keep him focused. I explained opening a new bank account as well as contacting Upneat again so that Upneat could gather all the information for the sign-up in the future. He's going to think about it over the weekend and make his decision. So I'm guessing that you weren't able to connect with Upneat, and that's why all of a sudden we're here, and I'm going to be inputting data, correct?
Well, that's not the reason.
Oh,
why?
Okay.
It's not that I wasn't able to connect to him, and that's why I didn't get back to you.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I might as well explain to you what happened.
Sure.
So, and it just so happened that was March 1st, right? March 1st was our meeting.
March 1st, I made the notes. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, I had to do my income tax for the previous year, and my income tax is all based on our SB income. Like, I haven't been employed, as I mentioned to you, so I've been just extracting money from my cashing out part of my RSP. Right. So I did my tax refund or tax information on March the 5th.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I was kind of confused, I think, and so I had intended to use my tax refund to start like a new bank account for the purpose of getting this situation going.
Yeah, right.
But I forgot to. But I have direct deposit on my tax refund.
Okay.
So as soon as my tax refund was processed, it goes directly into my Scotiabank account. So basically,
and you have a Scotiabank debt.
Exactly.
And they took the money.
Well, the thing is, they didn't take it.
Okay.
Right, but it just goes automatically in there, and that means that I can't use it for a new bank account because it's automatically in Scotiabank.
No, you can withdraw it.
Well, the problem with that is that I have an overdraft.
Okay, so it was in the overdraft.
Yeah, so like I was close to I have a $2,000 overdraft.
Right, and the tax refund was
$2,700.
Okay, right.
So it was basically swallowed up by that overdraft.
I would have just taken out the $2,700, whatever went in, and then just opened a new bank account and then filed.
But
you weren't doing anything wrong. That was your money. It's just it's no different than a credit card. But anyway, continue.
Well, I guess the thing is, I felt that it was that if I did
that was 2 months ago. Let's move
right,
forward.
Exactly.
Okay. So what did you decide?
And what was strange was that I actually, like, after I did my income tax refund, I actually phoned up CRA to say, could I stop the direct deposit because I'd like to actually, have this as just as a check. And they said, sure, go ahead and do that. And I actually did that. So I confirmed it with him online, or confirmed it with him on the phone, and I did it online. I actually have a button that says, cancel your direct deposit, but it did it anyway.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. That's
where are we at now? So did you open a new bank account yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
And
we're not any further than the discussion we had. So here's what we need to do, just so we can use this time. Did you want to still file bankruptcy?
Yes.
Okay. So what we should do then is let's sit and enter all the information. Because
Okay.
I'm a slow data input person.
Okay.
And let's get your address, everything, all your creditors. Let's input everything.
Okay.
Then you'll have to leave and go open a new bank account, right?
Right.
So do you have? Go ahead.
Well, and that's the thing is, I could send you all the information. I could fill out a form for you if you want. To save you time from just entering the data.
Oh no, because I've set the time aside, right?
Okay.
I've got the time to be with you. We don't really need to talk about anything because you need to process this, right?
Well, what I wanted to ask you specifically, though,
Sure.
that in the meantime, I've also received another 2 of these creditor statements from debtors' land. So when I talked to you previously, there was one from the chief of police.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, I've received another 2 of them.
Yeah. And these are just writs against the property?
That's right.
Right.
They are.
So all these writs are dischargeable once you get through the bankruptcy process and
Right.
you receive a discharge.
So, I thought that you maybe needed to see these.
No.
Okay.
No, we're just going to add them. And so regardless of whether somebody is on title on your property, the issue is informing the creditor because that's who you owe money to.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get through the process, receive a certificate of discharge so they can, or they're forced to remove the writ.
Right.
So I don't actually need to see those.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I guess. But,
Yeah.
and the other thing, though, is that not all of the defendants have these, so does
That's
that
fine.
matter?
It makes no difference at this point. So what you're doing is we're starting the process
Mm-hmm.
to stay all action.
Right.
And even if there's action they're put on, it's all going to be dischargeable as soon as you go through the process and receive your discharge from the bankruptcy.
So even though the other defendants are not, they're not
Makes no
technically
difference.
creditors.
No, it makes no difference. Well, they are. There's a judgment, right?
Yeah, there's a
so
judgment.
You owe them, and we're going to be listing them.
Okay.
We're going to be putting them on notice. We're not waiting for something. It's like if you borrowed money from that guy over there,
Yeah.
and you haven't paid him back. He's a creditor.
Oh, I see. Even though he doesn't have an official thing that says
You
I'm
owe
a
him.
creditor. Yeah,
You
right.
owe him.
Oh, I see.
You owe your neighbor, you owe your mom, you owe your brother, you owe the bank. Anybody you owe is a creditor.
I see.
You are a debtor when you're indebted to somebody,
Oh,
and they are the
okay.
creditor
Oh, I
that
see.
they're collecting.
I thought that only
No.
once they had one of these were
No,
they
no.
a creditor.
No,
Okay.
no, you're fine, man. So that's why we want to use this time as effectively as possible.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with your personal information. I've got your first name here, but I want to make sure that I've got. Is it Greg or is it Gregory?
Well, full
Legally,
name is
what is your name?
Gregory.
Okay,
That's
that's
right.
Greg?
Yes.
Ory?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a middle name?
Yes.
And what is that?
So it's Lincoln, the last name of the print.
Lincoln?
Yes, that's right.
Any other middle names?
Nope, that's it. That's it.
Lincoln. Okay, and your surname is Paraniuk.
Yes.
Your
yes.
date of birth, month, day, year.
So it's May 4, 1972.
Happy belated birthday. So you are
47. Maybe.
47 now. Do you know, or you go by any other names?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Your social insurance number.
Okay. Well, do you need that? Well, I guess what do you do with that?
We have to file your taxes when you file an assignment in bankruptcy. In order to file your taxes,
Okay.
we have to have your social insurance number so we can file the taxes with Canada Revenue. We are the designated tax accountant for 2019.
Okay.
So it's a requirement.
Okay. So 639
639
785
785
245.
245. You're single.
Yes.
Good. Your current address.
So, well, I'll just, it's just right there.
Okay. Section 405. 11114. So, how have you been keeping?
Well, like I'm very frugal with my money, and that's why the tax refund was able to last from there until now.
Good things. Phone number is 707-4658 with area code 780.
Yes.
Okay, and your email is greg.granik@live.ca.
That's right.
You've been living at this address since February 25th, 2019?
No, it's been since June of 2013, June 15 of 2013.
June 15 of 2013. Okay. Your employment, you currently do not have an employer.
Right.
Normally, what do you do?
Software development.
Right. Search. So let's do that right now. See if you have any previous insolvencies.
Okay.
What have you been doing to keep your brain active?
Well, I've been, I don't know. See, the most important thing, if not the only thing that matters to me, is the truth about everything. So, in terms of, I was going to start publishing this information that I have, or like you were suggesting, starting to write a book.
You write a book, but don't do it until after you're discharged, so that no royalties, that nobody gets, because your proprietary, like your ownership of, like if you had a book done,
right,
and started making money before you're discharged, the estate could have an interest in it. So that's why. That's why, man, I totally encourage you to do that. Totally encourage you to do it.
But you have to kind of start. I mean, I can start writing.
Start writing, just don't publish
exactly.
it.
Right,
writing
exactly.
is just your journal, man.
Exactly.
That's not an issue.
Yeah.
I just don't want you to enter any contracts, and I want you
Sure.
to get through the process in 9 months if you currently don't have any income. And I explained to you there's a cost for filing, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so, in the meantime, I had submitted kind of, a complaint against one of the lawyers, this Jeremy Taylor from Field Law, and so that's ongoing. But in the meantime, I'm writing another complaint to the Law Society. It's a bizarre story because, I had made a what you could call a complaint against him previously, but on the morning of the hearing that decided this outcome,
yes,
he actually misrepresented the information that I gave to the Law Society about him. He was actually using that against me that morning, even though I had submitted that information to the Law Society the previous Monday. So,
were you there for that?
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay.
But the thing
Did
is,
you get a chance to have your say?
Well, I did, but the judge didn't believe me because basically, what my experience with the legal system is that it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. If you're a lawyer, you're considered to be right, and if you're self-represented, you're considered to be wrong. So,
understood.
So basically,
you're just not versed in this, so you don't really know what you're talking about. Is what they would be challenging, I guess. You have no dependents, correct?
That's right. Yeah. So the thing is that since this hearing was in November of last year, and in the meantime, I bought the transcript of part of the hearing where this lawyer was speaking, and when I reviewed the transcript of what he was telling the court about what I told the Law Society, he was misrepresenting the Law Society's opinion of what I told the Law Society. Okay. So, in other words, I mean, it's a really strange story that But
do you think you're going to get anywhere with it? Do you think?
Well, the thing is, I don't know whether I'm going to get.
You'd probably get more out of it by writing a book. You would. Making complaints, it sounds like Unless you get responses in those complaints and you can use them in your book.
Well, the thing is, I believe that I'm not going to get financial compensation from the Law Society.
No, but with the book, you'll be able to inform people. And
well,
you might get a return. Even if you've got a return, you could always donate any income.
Well, what I'm saying is that I believe that it's necessary to at least take the step to have informed the Law Society of this, so that if they say, there's nothing wrong with what he did, then part of my book is that the Law Society says there's nothing wrong with this, when you can clearly see that there is.
Yeah.
So in other words, so they're part of the story.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So at least they've been informed.
Sure. Now let's get to your creditors who you owe money to. So you certainly have a secured creditor with your mortgage. So who is that?
So the mortgage is this, and this will tell you exactly how much is owed.
This is ATV?
That's right, yes.
ATV, financial, and
so the total amount is 158 something up there.
Yeah, right. I'm just going to put, we can put the exact amount. How's that today?
Well, that would be as of May 1st, I believe.
Okay, so we'll just use that then. 158, 724.24, and no particular account number, which is okay.
Do you need an account number?
No, ATV will find you because it's your name and they'll find it in your system. Not too concerned with that. Just this and put it in. And they are secured, so we'll put down look at things, let's put them aside. Then, here's the home. Now, do you have anything that outlines the value of this property, like a property tax assessment?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, the property tax. There's so I have both the condo and 2 parking spots, even though I don't have a car. So
right. So
this is.
Okay.
So I don't know if you need all of these, but because they send a separate tax bill for each piece, because they're all titled.
Yeah, you bet. And I'm just going to scan all those, and then
Sure.
I'll add them all together. Just call it one. I'll make note that it's a condo and 2 parking spots.
Right.
So this is.
That's the main condo property. Yeah, it shows the amount in the small.
There it is. Yeah. When did you get your property tax assessment?
So that just came out last week.
Last week. Yeah.
Well, I guess if you want, I got an assessment in January, but the number didn't change.
No, this is just a conversation.
Oh, I see.
Because in St. Albert, I haven't got mine yet.
I see. Okay.
Sorry, those.
Yeah, that just detached. That's okay. I'll just keep that together. But I just got the tax assessment this week, and the property assessment was in January, but the tax assessment came out this last week. So did that insolvency check come back immediately, or is it something that has to take time to come back?
No, it pops right out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's cool.
And it just said I don't have one? Don't have a previous one?
Yeah. That name, and that's why I asked you if you had any other names.
Right.
You're doing okay there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I just, you know.
So 203.5.
And like one thing I was considering was getting an actual, you know, CMA. I forget what it stands for. Like that it actually assesses the property. CMA by a realtor, like to determine exactly what it's valued at right now.
Somebody's going to ask you from our office that because a comparative market analysis, a CMA, would be something that because in using the property tax assessment, saying property is worth, and the purchase price is worth 203.5, and it's likely. Do you owe any property taxes currently?
Do I owe any?
Yeah.
Well, just there's just the amounts that are on this. I haven't paid them yet because they're due at the end of June.
Right.
So other than that, yes, that's correct. Other than that, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Because I paid it last year.
Okay.
Now, like I was wondering about like. This is a statement that I received from my property management company currently. Like I don't know whether that's dischargeable.
Well, it's not dischargeable. But they're secured then against the property.
Oh, okay. So they're basically the same as the mortgage?
Paid. You bet, but they're going to get paid first. So it's Queen Mary Gardens Esquire Management Group.
Right.
Okay.
Like so they're a secured creditor?
Secured creditor, you bet they are. Yeah. So I'm going to add them in now.
And so. Like basically, it just means that if they're it doesn't mean that they'd be discharged though.
No, they're secured against the property. They're going to get paid, but it's a declaration of all of your liabilities when you file, just like we're listing your mortgage.
Okay.
You're secured against the property.
Right.
When you file bankruptcy, it's a statement of your financial affairs. Here's everybody I owe. Here's everything I own. Here's who I am. Here's what I make. Here's what I spend my money.
Okay.
It's a complete declaration because you're saying I financially can't pay my creditors.
Mm-hmm.
So the determination of equity in your property is assets less liabilities determines equity.
Right.
So that's why I asked you, do you owe property taxes? So that erodes the equity, right? Because if you owe property taxes, they're against the property.
Right.
You have mortgage against the property, now you have this against the property. So just slowly erodes it all. So Esquire Management, we're just going to put all this information here. So when, whether you decide to sell the property, live there, it makes no difference. They still get paid. So,
well, I mean, like, just out of curiosity, like, if I had not given you that statement,
I would have asked you, do you owe condo fees?
Okay.
Yeah, I would have asked you.
Right. Well, I don't know condo fees. That's a special assessment.
Okay. So, this is a special assessment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It's not condo fees. I'm paying condo fees. So basically, and there's one fee for a ridiculous plumbing fee that I 100%.
But this is a debt, though, to them.
Right.
But, okay, so they are secured against the property. It isn't condo fees, but it is a special assessment. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so they're secured still. That's why people walk away from condos that I've met with over the years, is there'll be a special assessment because the roof in the parking lot was done, and when they bought the place, it was never told them. There's a special assessment for $60,000.
Right.
So they're secured, so it's I'm walking away. So this is, they're owed this money and they're owed the condo board. Yeah, terrible.
Right.
Assessments are terrible.
Well, I mean, what happened
you
was...
have to pay them, or, I mean, is it likely they're going to take legal action to foreclose on you? No, but they don't really have to do anything except log you and say, hey, you haven't paid these fees. But you might want to seek legal counsel. But you're going to have to work out something. Are you planning to stay there, or are you planning to...
Yes, I'm planning to stay there.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing is... Well, I mean... And you know, that's one of the weird things about this situation is it's kind of like a limbo because...
Well, yeah, because you're going to be protected that nobody can pursue you.
Right. Like I don't...
Writs against the property, and that's why you're essentially doing this, so you can discharge the writs and move on, so you can protect your equity. That's what we talked about,
right.
Remember? So they don't force a foreclosure
right.
and eat that up, even though it's exempt from seizure anyway. But the processing going through it, you're going through it so that those debts are dischargeable and they have to remove the writs.
Right.
But they don't have to remove those writs until you're discharged.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, like I'm not planning on selling, really, you know, for the foreseeable future.
Right.
So, in other words, you know, I mean, that's just it. It's, you know, like it's debatable whether it's really necessary to do this, but I just want to make sure that, you know, that they're removed. Like, I just want to, you know, have all of this taken care of,
yes.
right?
And so,
because they haven't contacted me since.
Well, they won't. They won't. And nobody's going to contact you. It's just going to cost too much. They know you have no employment. Mm-hmm. That's all been worked out. It's probably in the transcript somewhere. They know. So the only legal recourse they have is to get a judgment, take that judgment, and register it against your land. Mm-hmm. They're not going to contact you. They're just going to wait for you to sell. And if there's any surplus equity above $40,000, they're going to get that money.
Right.
So by you not attending to filing the bankruptcy and deal with this, over the years as you pay your mortgage, and the mortgage goes down and your property increases, your exemption is you're only entitled to $40,000. So you can pay this mortgage and live there, and if you have $80,000, you can have the first 40 no matter what. But all the money you pay, they're eventually going to take that, right? If you intended to deal with this. Okay, so that's a problem. Apologies. I can't deal with technology. I mean, I don't know the choice. What's going on? So what are your immediate plans for employment and just fix up the living expenses?
Well, I'm planning to, you know, cash out part of my RSP over the time. And so, like I have, you know, right now worth $5,000.
That's what you have left right now?
Yes. So, and the thing is, like, I understand that over the 9-month period, you're like, there's a limit of $2,200 or something of income?
$203 is what you make per month right now, yeah.
Right. So does that, so if I
Cash in your RSPs?
Right, so I have to make sure that it's below that amount, right?
Yeah, but how much do you have left in your RSPs in total?
Well, $5,000.
Okay, so it's, even if you cash it all in at once, the 2203 is based on, it would be averaged out over the 9 months.
Oh, is that right? It is an average? So in other words, like it's, yeah, so if 1 month had, less than that and 1 month had more, it is an average.
Exactly.
Okay. Like, so that means I could, if I wanted to be, simplify everything, I could cash it all at once.
Yeah. Totally good.
So your system just crashed, I guess, so you have to enter everything again?
Just this one that was in the middle of entering it, so I don't save when I'm just putting the data. I haven't even got to the postal code yet.
Right.
Just of this particular
So, and then just to be totally clear, like about this special assessment, like it was assessed sometime before this statement, and I paid it for, like it was, I paid like a monthly installment on it.
How much do you owe? That would be my next question. How much do you owe?
On the special assessment?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I forget how much the total is.
But you believe it's less than this, right?
Well, I forget what this total amount was. Because what happened
relevant, it's not material. I just need a declaration from you, what you believe. Because you're now telling me that you paid some to this, so it's not this number.
Well, I have not paid some to this, but what happened was that they had an assessment and they like prorated it, so it was a monthly amount.
Well, this is an invoice, though. This is saying you owe this, right? This is an invoice.
Right.
So this is an invoice saying you owe this.
Right.
Have you contributed anything to this amount?
I have not.
Okay, good. Then we'll just say $1,500. That's all I needed.
Okay.
It's not as material as you think. And so, unfortunately, because of our time, we've already eaten 35 minutes. I've got only 2 creditors in. And this is why I wanted you to talk to Avneet, because in terms of me, this is not my job, data entry.
Okay.
My job is to, explain the process to you, sign the
well,
documents.
Yeah.
And I respectfully wanted to help you because I had these little pockets, but I want to use as much time, use this as effectively as possible for you.